I discovered this week that gamers like only one type of fish: cod. Moving on. You're a dad. You've been at work all day. You've just come home and you've played with the kids. You've eaten. You've spent time with your wife. You have done plenty of other things today. And it's 9 p.m. and it's too early to go to bed, and you need time to play a game because you're all caught up on Star Wars Andor. If you have not already played Ori and the Blind Forest, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you should make this the game of choice for the next couple of hours before you go to sleep. If you have played, I hope this video does give you validation of your purchase. That's personally why I watch videos that are of games that are pretty old anyway, and some fun facts in between. Ori and the Blind Forest was originally released for the Xbox One in 2015, and then again as a definitive version for both the Xbox One and the Switch in 2019 as a digital only, and with a physical edition with Will of the Wisps in 2020. Before we get into those 5 reasons for playing Ori, I want to get into our message from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Will Woodworking and Laser Engraving. Choose from a variety of cups including tumblers, beverage holders, pints, pilsners, wine tumblers, water bottles, and ring necks, as well as cutting boards. I got my own merch at the Datimer with the Datimer logo engraved on it. When you purchase $35 or more, use the code DATIMER10 to get 10% off your order. Now is the perfect time to think about holiday gifts, and what other way to kick things off with a customized cup from Will Woodworking and Laser Engraving. Help the channel out by helping out our sponsor, link in the description below, and now, back to Ori. If you've ever played a Metroid game, you're going to be right at home here. If you haven't, go to Nintendo Online, most of you should have Nintendo Online, and check out Super Metroid. Buy a 3DS, check out Samus Returns, borrow your friend's Wii U or Game Boy and play Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion, and finally play Metroid Dread on the Switch. This game has a lot of Metroidvania aspects of it, and it was actually made as a love letter to the genre. You will explore different areas only to find that you need to come back and explore it when you have more items and equipment and a skill tree that allows you to traverse the area much better. And you are also equipped with a zapper rather than an arm cannon that comes complete with a charge shot. One aspect of the gameplay that I think you're going to really enjoy is the way that the game saves your progress. Saving your progress requires consideration. There are no checkpoints. There is not really saving anytime you want from the pause menu. Instead, you can save anywhere you want to, but it will cost you energy to save in a new area. This makes you consider, should I use energy on my charge zap that will produce a bigger hit towards my enemies, or should I use a bunch of smaller hits to hit the enemies and save my energy for saving after I've cleared a whole area of enemies. It's a really fun way to just think before you act. One other cool aspect of gameplay here is the ability to ride on enemy projectiles and then shoot them back at your enemies. This feature also allows you to traverse the map a whole lot better. Definitely be prepared to die a lot in this game. There will be a lot of surprises waiting for you in this game. My life was almost ruined by playing games like this, and I was fortunate enough to have another 2 lives. Also keep in mind that while riding enemy projectiles, it is actually better to do it during the seasons of spring, summer, and winter, and that way you don't take fall damage. One of the very reasons I knew this game was even produced to begin with was the fact that while I was in college studying accounting, I always looked for instrumental music to aid in my studies. So I became proficient in soundtracks. I could tell you what the artist was. I could tell you what year the soundtrack came out, what movie or game it was associated with, as well as other trivia questions about music. So in 2015, I came across Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack, and I fell in love with this thing, and I think you will too. Gentle strings, soothing piano, and a calm voice by, and I apologize if I butcher your name, Arali Brighton, and others dominate this mesmerizing soundtrack that invokes the deepest of emotion that I've ever heard in any video game soundtrack. In my 20 years of gaming, this soundtrack, Ori and the Blind Forest, goes head to head with some of the biggest video game soundtracks of all time, including Mario, Zelda, Skyrim, Halo, and Metal Gear Solid. Around the time of release, they had a glow-in-the-dark vinyl album that you can buy now for a stupidly high price on eBay if you're a die-hard collector. For everyone else out there who's not crazy, music streaming will do just fine. That is to say that you can totally listen to the soundtrack without playing the game and enjoy it just fine. If you gain nothing else from this game, and you won't, if you get a blissful listening experience, you will have done yourself a great service to yourself. If you've ever seen the movie Aquaman, you will be right home at here. The visual artists in this game must have been told, use lots of color, turn the vibrancy, depth, and richness, and crank them all up to 11. Every area that you visit in this game is a visual treat. You will just want to stop in some areas and just enjoy and gaze on the beauty that is the world of the Blind Forest. Just by the sheer imagination of art in this game, all I can really say is bravo. This is excellent. There are areas in this game that are bright areas. There are areas in this game that are dark areas, and each of them is as cool as the last. If you love the art style as much as I did, you can buy an Ori and the Will of the Wisps art book, which is chock full of art from the artist, and it's a really good purchase. I definitely did not cry by the end of finishing this game. Definitely didn't. You know that meme that says, Up told a better love story in 5 minutes than Twilight told in 5 movies? Well, Ori and the Blind Forest tells a more emotionally gripping story in about 15 hours than a lot of games that I've played over my time of gaming. Granted, it's not quite up there with Red Dead Redemption 2. I know I'm comparing apples and oranges, but this game does a really good job of taking characters and creatures that you have no idea what they are until you Google them, and it makes us care about them in a very meaningful way. It tells us about the world without voice acting, albeit grunts and other noises, and this game also does a great job at making a villain both scary and hugely threatening, yet you can completely emphasize with the villain's motives. If you don't cry, the game will at least tug on your heartstrings just a little bit. Fun fact, this story was actually inspired by the Iron Giant and the Lion King in so much as the game's coming-of-age aspect of the story. One of the best moments of the plot is the points where this game gives you only a second or two to get out of a dangerous situation very suddenly. There's plenty of moments where you're just like, oh crap, and you have to just don't think. Just, it's a very do or die. They're very do or die situations, and you have to get out of harm's way based on reflexes. Ori and the Blind Forest does all these things in the above-mentioned reasons in a time frame that will absolutely fit your schedule as a busy person. The game erred on the side of caution, leaving you with wanting more, and that's always a good thing. Do you ever feel like you've played a game that you're just ready to be done? You need a break from it, or do you need to put it down because the undertaking of it was just so massive in scope? I know I was ready to be done with Horizon Forbidden West when I finished it, but I don't think I needed a break from it so much. I heard from chatter that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is almost too much game, although you definitely get your money's worth out of it. So let me know in the comments if there's a game like that for you. Ori is kind of a tease. You definitely get a complete story out of this game, but at the same time, it just leaves you wanting more, and that's always a good problem to have. You can either play this game on the TV after everyone's gone to bed, or you can play this while you're watching with your significant other. The cutscenes are far enough apart where most of the time you spent playing this game will be spent exploring. So let me know what your thoughts are on Ori and the Blind Forest. Have you played this game? Do you play this game on Switch or do you play it on Xbox? Did I compel you to add this to your library? Did you learn something new from this video? If so, super smash that like button and let me know that I'm doing a good job on these reviews for you. If not, go ahead and hit the dislike as well. The next video I plan on doing is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. If you want to see more reviews on older games, be sure to click right here. I also have conversation starters on upcoming games right up here. Until the next one, go spend time with your families, go ace that next test, and what do you want me to add for that final one? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you on the next one.